Good morning. I guess by now you guys would have realized that trading's not that easy. Trading can be quite tricky. Don't forget, most traders lose money. And if you don't like losing money, probably shouldn't even be trading. Let's talk about the week. Let's talk about a few interesting things today with regards to trading patterns and how we trade and all the rest of it. Let me get that risk disclaimer out of the way and let's go and have a look at the charts. To do that, let me just move my picture out of the way as well. Let me know how your guys' week has been, how it's been going. Yesterday we had an awful trading day. 2 trades lost in the same day. 2 stop losses taken out. Ooh, not good. But that's okay. We continue on forward. As I said, the market's 50-50. You never know where it's going to come out at the end of the day, do you? Let's go over to the charts. Let's go and have a wee look at what we've got here. Let's see where we stand today. Brent crude oil is killing us, absolutely murdering us. Something to do with Trump again. Old Trumpy decided to say something, and it's costing us on the Brent crude oil trade. The Aussie dollar US dollar trade got taken out yesterday. The CHF JPY actually just closed it because it just wasn't going well. US dollar Canadian dollar didn't work out, didn't go. And gold we were short on, and on my other platforms I'm still short on it, and it's been okay, but you know, we got taken out and stop loss on this one. The US 500, I'm looking at a long trade here, and I'm thinking we should take a long trade on the US 500 and see where we come out. Let's just have a look here. Seriously considering a small US 500 long trade here. So I think we're going to take one on this account. Why not? It's looking like it wants to go to the upside. Everybody seems to be rather bullish at the moment. It has gone above that level. There is a bit of a top area here, but I'm thinking this might be a good call to take this one long. So let's just see. I'm going to take a wide berth on this one. I'm going to take a really wide berth on this one. I'm going to put my stop loss down, all the way down, if this thing would leave me alone, at 5,300. Goodness me. Trying to do something and I keep getting these pop-ups, and that can be quite annoying when you get these pop-ups all the time. Really, really annoying. Okay, how many can I take with that kind of stop loss? Probably 2 lots. Yeah, 2 lots. Oh, 0.02 lots. Sorry, what am I talking about? 2 whole lots. And we'll put the take profit at 6.1. Okay, and yeah, let's take an S&P buy. What the hell? And see where we come out at the end of the day. Should be interesting. Should be interesting. For all those who disagree with that trade, let me know. But I think it'll be a reasonably good trade. I think it'll be on point. Unfortunately, Brent crude oil is whacking us as well, giving us a bit of a knock. But Brent crude oil, I've also put a very wide berth on the stop loss. You'll see I've put the stop loss all the way down. Will this thing please stop it? Little news events coming out and they're driving me nuts on the corner here. So on Brent, I'll put the stop loss all the way down here at the 61.96, 62 level. That's fair. It's a couple $100 away. There is a trailing on it. I'm thinking of taking the trailing off it and just letting it run. There's a long way to go. I know there's a lot of sentiment around oil at the moment, and they say there's going to be no demand for oil and all the rest of it. But I mean, every day, old Trumpy changes his tune, so it's neither here nor there. Right, let's see who's here. Luigi, morning. Welcome. And to everyone else, I see there are a few other viewers. So welcome. It's good to have you on board again. We're all going to go through a few things. So the first thing we've done today is take our trade of the day, because one of our trades of the day was the US 500 today. US 500 was a big trade of the day. Yesterday, I took the gold without consulting you guys, but I took it on my other platforms as well. And as I say, on my other platforms, I've actually still got the gold. This one kind of had a trailing stop on it, which I didn't actually see. It just happened. and it trailed it down, and when it went pear-shaped, it got taken out. Otherwise, we would have still been in the trade as well. So yeah, it doesn't look promising though, because it kind of bounced and went straight back out. It took this money here and started to go out, and it's kind of sitting on this bottom, so that does concern me. The reason I took the trade is because it had broken through this this trend support, and that looked reasonable for me. Went back up, retested, and went down. So for me, that was okay. It's going to do a continuation, and then it just turned on its head and went back up. Is that another retest and then down? We shall see. Only time will tell. As it stands at the moment, I'm still sitting on it on the other platforms, just not on this one, unfortunately. And then the Aussie dollar, US dollar, I took short yesterday over here, thinking that it's going to, it's hit that resistance level, and it always does. And it was supposed to turn around, and it didn't. And it's made kind of higher high here. And that is concerning for a short. But it did kind of hit this this level at the top here, and say that's kind of like the top of the resistance, and start to come back down again. This was also on a trailing stop, by the way. Got whacked. I'll stop playing with these trailing stops because they're actually causing pain, causing problems. Now on this US 500, I want to try and keep it wide. I want to try and keep it as wide as possible. There's a big gap to fill here, which is concerning because that gap doesn't look full. It is above that level. Let's see if it can go up today. Let's see if it can go in the right direction for us for a change, and make us a little bit of dosh. I'm just having a look here. Okay. Don't forget, nothing I say here constitutes financial advice. Don't take the trades I'm taking. You might just go down the wrong hole. But then again, hopefully not. Even if you've got years and years and years of experience at this, you're going to have a 50-50 trade. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't even matter if you're pro. It doesn't matter if you went to university and studied the stock market. You're still going to take 50-50 trades. The difference is you get a feeling for the market. You can see what's happening, and you're much more relaxed about what you do because you know what's next. That's the only difference. We don't have predictive capabilities. It's just that we've kind of seen it all before, and the reason I'm drinking coffee is because it's coffee with Rob, of course. Why else would I be drinking any coffee today? So, yeah. So one trade taken. We've taken our one trade, which is the US 500 together. Hi, Shane. I hope you saw us take that trade. And then, of course, Brent crude oil is kicking our butt. And, of course, yesterday's trades that we got stopped out on, which never helps, does it? Gold. I took the gold short. Yeah, that was me. I think the Aussie dollar, US dollar was me as well. Both lost. Yeah. I started at 3 minutes to 11. Yeah, you're probably right, Shane. I did start a couple of minutes early. Yeah. I could have waited till 11, but I thought I'll just give it a shot. Yeah, we took the US 500 long. Okay, it's trade of the day, so I took it long now. And we're sitting in it, the US 500, because it looks decent, looks like it's popping up. It's popped through this trend resistance. It looks like it's popping through that area. That said, there's a good chance it could come down to take this money down here in this gap, and then there's a whole demand level and the whole lot here as well. So what I've done is I put a very wide stop loss on it down here at the 5300, and we shall see. We'll see how she goes, and see if she starts to move to the upside. Because yesterday was a nasty day. I don't know if you heard us, Shane. I took a gold trade yesterday. I took a short on it. And on this account, we got stopped out. I'm actually still holding it on my other accounts, strangely enough. But there I didn't have trailing stops on. On this one, I didn't realize there was a trailing stop on it, and it got taken out. So I got taken out last night. And this morning it's come back or settled a little bit down again, but I was short on it yesterday. Aussie dollar, US dollar, I was short over here, and it turned on me and went back up and grabbed that top level there. I suppose it still could go short again, but because the reason I took the Aussie dollar, US dollar, as you guys know, look, that my preparation for this was quite simple. It's in this range. And it was selling at the top, and I thought, well, it's at the top, I'll sell again. But yeah, that kind of bamboozled me. That's okay. We'll wait and see. If it comes back through here, I'll sell it again. I'm good with that. So you can see why I took the trade. It's just a question of 50-50. Like I said, you can be in the market for 100 years, and you'll still get a 50-50 trade, no matter who you are, because you're trading against human beings and emotions and things getting moved up and down. I've seen some really, really pro traders, some of the top people, staying out of the market completely, sitting on their hands, doing nothing at the moment. They don't even want to take a trade because of the way things have been going, which is interesting, because normally they all cry for volatility. But a lot of them are out of the market, just sitting waiting because of, it's very difficult when you've got someone changing their mind every day about what policies they're going to put in place. And it does confuse the issue a lot, particularly when it comes to the markets and, of course, the US dollar, which is quite a pain. Yeah. I'm glad you went on, Shane. You probably thought, well, if Rob's going short, I'll take the long. Yeah, that's probably what you were thinking. The Euro Great British Pound would have been, why did I click that now? Click that. Euro Great British Pound, I don't think I've got it on this watch list. Let's just have a look here. Euro Great British Pound. So you went short. Okay, the short from up here was good. At the moment, it's a bit iffy. Just have to see if it can get through this level again. There is a big head and shoulders on it, which is why I took a short on, was it gold, I think? Well, I'll have a look now. But yeah, but it is sitting in this level, so it could go long again. Just keep your eyes open for that. Which one? Oh, yes, it is gold that I saw the head and shoulders on. Now, this is one of the reasons I went short on it yesterday. I saw the shoulder, the big head, the shoulder, and it was breaking to the downside. So that's one of the reasons I actually went short on it, because it was breaking through this level, creating a head and shoulders, and looking like it wanted to go below. It turned and went the other way, but what you have to be careful of is it hasn't broken this head or this shoulder. It's still below this shoulder. I don't know if you guys can see that. Still below that shoulder. So if it's still below that shoulder, the head and shoulders is still in place. Even the left shoulder is still in line with it, and it's still below the right shoulder. So as a pattern in the market, and if you guys want to know more about patterns, just go on Google and download chart patterns, and you'll get a whole page with all the different chart patterns on it, and just study that. It's not rocket science. Like I say, this is just high probability trading, and the systems. What you need to know is the strategy, which we always talk about. But as far as identifying something in the market goes, the head and shoulders is probably one of my favorites, even better than the cup and handle and some of the other ones. But this guy is still below that shoulder. And that says to me that the head and shoulders is still in play. The other thing that I've got here is, if you see here, it's bounced off that what was a trend support and has now become a trend resistance. It went through, it came up, it retested, it broke down, went up, hit, retested, and came down again. So this trade is still in place. So I haven't closed it on my other accounts. Just this one got stopped out. But quite frankly, if it does break to the downside, I'll consider getting another short on it, to be honest. To be perfectly fair. Perhaps if it breaks above that line, above that shoulder, then you can take a long 3370. But other than that, it's pretty short at the moment. Still, even though we've been stopped out mistakenly by that trailing stop. Okay. Okay, Shane, you've exited the position on Euro Great British Pound, which is good because it does look like it's sitting in a support and it wants to go long now. So Ronald says to Shane, try opening up 2 accounts, do the opposite on each, maybe you'll be profitable. You know what the problem with that is, Ronald, is what always happens. And it's the same as if you take our strategy where you keep the stop loss the same on every trade. The one trade that you take the less stop loss on is the one you win, and the one that you take the bigger stop loss on is the one that you'll lose. And the same thing is going to happen when you do that with the account. The account that you take the bigger risk on or is the one that's going to lose, or the one that's going to lose more trades will be the one that, you know, it'll one of the accounts will lose more trades than the one that wins. That's just that's Murphy's law. Shane has already tried that. So Sir Lunchalot, lovely name, love the name, dude. Asks, do you know the orb? Guys, I hate abbreviations. Do open it up for me. What does it stand for? Okay, so many abbreviations, and I don't play into them. I don't listen to them. Some of them I know, and some of them I don't bother with. But just write the words out for me, so that I know what you're talking about. I'll probably know what you're talking about when you open up the words. Because everybody's got a different way of speaking, a different like I've got a good friend who's a professional pilot, and he speaks in abbreviations sometimes, and I just look at him and say, do me a favor, dude, just speak English, you know, or something, just Spanish or something. Just don't don't speak in abbreviations there. Open range breakout. That's better. Thank you. I don't use it. No, I don't use it. You're welcome to talk about it though. Yeah, no, I love the name Sir Lunchalot. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I don't use open range breakout. I don't think I ever have actually used it. If you want to elaborate on it, you're welcome to do it here on the chat. Talk to us about it. You know. There we go. Like you'll see, you know, my next video that's coming out is actually about keep it simple. Keep it simple. I call it keep it simple stupid, but keep it simple. It's the best thing you can do in the world. I've traded with so many different indicators, even the Ichimoku, which is strangely enough, I thought that would work for sure because it had so much going on there. I don't know if you guys have tried trading with it. I thought this can't fail for sure. But I actually struggled to find good trades with that. I'm pretty sure it works for someone, but also, you know, and I've done all kinds of different ones, different systems and whatnot, average, true range, and oh gosh, everybody's got something. But you know what? Every system in the market works. Every system's been backtested by some genius, and everything works the same. Like I say, the market's 50-50. It's just a system. It's just a high probability system. At the end of the day, you need a strategy. You need a business plan, guys. You need a proper business plan. A system will give you that feeling of confidence when you take a trade that it's going to work in your favor in all likelihood. That's all it's going to do for you. And then when it goes against you, you're going to be disappointed because you thought that your system was infallible. Once you understand that your system's not infallible, that your system's just as 50-50 as everyone else's system, then you'll get to the point where you understand that it's the strategy that makes you the money at the end of the day, not the system. The system's just going to disappoint you every single time. I've seen it so many times in people's faces. You get the most amazing system. There's just no way it can fail. It'll work. It'll win 80% of my trades and so on and so on. And then it disappoints them, you know, somewhere down the line. I use the first 60 minutes on DAX to define my range, and then I take the breakout today on Germany 40. Oh, okay, I understand, Sir Lunchalot. It's just the terminology that you're using. Okay. It's a bit like sweeping the market, and then, you know, if it, yeah, It's one of those, yeah. If it goes above it goes down below the low and then goes above or if it breaks above the high and then you take the trade, breaks the range. Yeah, I get it. Yes, I've done that before. That normally is a system that people use on day trading on a 5-minute charts or something like that, 1-minute charts. Because what you're doing is you're waiting for the open of a market and then you're waiting for it to break above a range and go. Yeah, it's just terminology again. Yeah, sorry, I didn't understand the terminology or the name of it. That's all. Yeah, we've done that before. Absolutely. Makes sense. And sometimes it works. What you have to be careful of with that, though, is especially if you're learning it off somebody else, okay? That comes with a lot of experience and a lot of feeling in the market. So if you're trading breakout, you've got to be careful because a lot of research is done on specific products, maybe a DAX or a euro, US dollar, or a gold, or whatever the case. The people that take those trades generally do a lot of research into that one product, because what you'll find is maybe that one instrument will do that every time, but maybe 80% of the other ones won't. So that is something that you have to watch out for with that type of system. Okay, it normally relates to a specific type of instrument that does that or works that way or is successful with that. So yes, I get totally what you're saying now, Sir Lancelot. Totally love it. Yeah, I get it. I get it totally. Okay. As Shane says, it's not high probability, but it can work with the right rules and play. But that's exactly what I just said now. Very often, Shane, it relates to a specific instrument. Okay, and that's another thing. What Sir Lancelot says here, he passed his funded accounts this year with only the orb. Okay, and that is fantastic because I always say if you find a high probability system that works for you, and you've got the proper business plan and strategy around it, then don't change it. It works for you. It might not work for everyone else. For example, your system might not work for Shane, but it'll work for you. And that's great. Shane, I know he uses Fib and a couple of other things as well. That works for him. And then for me, I don't like to use anything. I just draw lines. And as you can see, price action, that's good enough for me. Because I know the market's 50-50, whichever way you look at it. And if you feel more comfortable with a specific type of system that's going to give you the high probability, then go with that system. Go with the one that makes you comfortable. Because then you're going to take the trades and then you're going to be comfortable actually clicking the button and taking the trades. Because this is where the biggest problem comes in trading, is being able to take the trade, being able to click the button and have the confidence to take the trade, and then having the confidence to hold on to the trade, and then knowing when to get in and out of the trades. That's what the high probability gives you at the end of the day. What you really need is a strategy and a business plan so that you can make profit in the market, because at the end of the day, you're always going to have a 50-50 situation. In fact, you'll probably lose more trades than you win over time. Yeah. There you go. So Sir Lancelot actually says he only uses it on the DAX and the NAS. So there you go, 100%. So you've done your research and you've figured out that it works on those two instruments, and that's great. You'll find, like, if you want to move that system onto another instrument, let's say you wanted to trade the Australian dollar, US dollar, make sure you do your research before you do it, because it might not work on that particular instrument, for example. That's just how it works. Look, what I do here is a very general, keep it simple thing. And I try and explain to people in the videos how to trade this way. It's price action. It's very much, we all know that trading's 50-50 no matter what you do. But what it does, it gives you a high probability trade, it gives you a simple way to look at the trading, and you can trade absolutely anything on any time frame with this high probability system. So that's why we do this in general. I don't, for example, only trade gold, or only trade Brent or anything like that. I'll trade orange peels if you give them to me to trade. So that's great. Okay, so we trade everything and anything. It helps me to be able to also free up my time and my mind and all the rest of it to be able to take a trade that comes to me, because otherwise you start chasing trades. For example, in this time period, if you're only trading 2 products and things are difficult, you might struggle to find trades. Whereas if you can trade anything, the trades will come to you, and that's very important to let the trades come to you. Don't chase the trading. That's quite tricky. Trading isn't easy. Open 2 accounts. We sell other buy simple. It's work. You know, Ruben, the funny thing is, like I said when I opened this video, by now all of you guys would have noticed that trading is hard. By now you will all know that trading is difficult. There might be a few of you guys out there that have been trading for a few years and you've got quite a lot under your belt and you've learned already. There might be a few of you guys out there that have only just started and a few of you that are only in for a couple of months or weeks. And you guys, let me tell you now, trading is a hard journey. It's a difficult journey. No one said it was easy. Too many, well, actually, I'm lying. Everybody says it's easy, don't they? That's the mistake I make, that everybody's telling you it's easy, and it's actually not. And that's the problem. That is completely the issue. Too many people out there saying, get into trading, trading's easy, just jump in and go mad, and not telling you that it's actually just like anything else. You have to get a feel for it, you have to learn how to do it, you have to work hard at it, and you have to get your mind around it. I always say in my videos, quite often when I talk about this, that if you were to go and decide on a career as a young chap or a lady that you want to do X, Y, and Z, you immediately understand that you have to go to college or varsity, you have to get an internship or an apprenticeship, you're going to have to learn the job for a couple of years. You understand that when you walk into that job for the first time in your life, you're probably not going to know what the hell you're doing. And although you're going to try and act like you know what you're doing, you won't know what you're doing. Nobody does. And then you walk into trading and you think you know it all immediately on the first day. That for me is mind-boggling. How many people walk into trading thinking, well, that's going to be easy. I'll just get into that. And I think it's because people see it more like more as a gamble than an actual career. You know, that they see it like red and black. You know, it doesn't work like that. While it's a 50-50 a choice when you take a trade, it doesn't necessarily work that way, and it's not that simple, and it's not that easy. When you want to make money in the finance markets, the best way to do that is invest in time in the market. In other words, buy into shares that you like, buy into shares that you feel comfortable with, add to them on a monthly basis if you can, and just leave them there for 30 years if you're young enough. And you'll look back, and I'll be gone, but you'll thank me. Yeah, no, totally. That, I never listened 30 years ago, I'll be honest. I never listened. People told me to do it, and I was like, trading, I'll just trade. It took me many years to get the aha moment and to realize what those old men back then were trying to tell me. They were trying to tell me, hey, Rob, start investing, man. Start using the time in the market. Don't stop trying to time the market. And I still today love timing the market and love trading, but I have an investment portfolio for that straight up reason that an investment portfolio is the one thing that's going to make you your money at the end of the day, safely, in the knowledge that it's just going to keep on growing with inflation, with time, with growth of companies. Companies are your best because companies grow. And not only do they grow, but they also pay you dividends and that sort of thing. So, you know, keep that in mind, guys. Do keep that in mind. Psychology is the holy grail to trading, Shane. That's it. End of story. If you don't have the psychology, you won't make it. That the first 2 years was very hard for me, but now I know what to look for. One thing that helps me so much is to scale out of my losers and cut them. Okay. The one thing, Sir Lancelot, that you do have to be careful with is getting overconfident. It's happened to me a few times. Overconfidence can hurt you as well. Psychology is so important in trading. You've got to keep your mind sane because it's so easy to become confident when you have a good run. And if you suddenly start having a really good run, nothing stands in your way. And then you start over trading, you start trading amounts that are way out of your league. And then that one big one comes and it always finds you. It always finds you. That one big one comes and it whacks you. And it whacks you hard. You learn your lesson from it. And then, it actually takes 2 or 3 for you to learn your lesson, to be honest. So, for those of you who haven't been around that long, just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind always. So, we took the gold trade now. All right. So, the US 500 trade, not the gold trade. I'm wondering if we should take the gold trade again. Okay, we're in the US 500, and we'll see what happens with that. Very unfortunate that we lost yesterday. Yesterday was just one of those days, eh? And this Aussie dollar, US dollar, how did that even lose, eh? But now it's coming back again. Look at this. Now it's coming back into this level again. So it looks like I'll bet you that this is going to go in our favor. Watch this. It's going to go back in our favor again. It's going to go short again. And if it does, I'm going to take the trade again. It's not a revenge trade. It'll be a completely new trade. But yeah, now it's looking like it's going to come back into play again. Gold, like I say, I'm not unhappy because I am still holding it elsewhere, but on cash accounts particularly, I'm kind of hoping that it gets back down to my cost here because I took basically on 3 accounts yesterday the same trade, and only this one stopped out because of the trailing stop loss. It's unfortunate that this one stopped out, actually, because when I look at it more and more and more, I think, well, it's actually not a bad trade. It's still okay. It's still in play. This one, the CHF JPY, I dumped it, guys. It was, I think I dumped it for $4, guys. I was like, I'm not even, look, there it is. I wasn't even going to bother with it going down and costing us money because look, it's below our cost now anyway. So I'm quite happy that we got out of that. I just wasn't happy because we had this trend resistance in here. Let me just show you guys. See this one here, sitting with this trend resistance here yesterday. It was getting up to there, coming back. And I just looked at it and thought, this thing's going nowhere. And I was right. So I dumped it for us. I decided we're not going to keep it. Struggling to see the US 500 long. I'm going to go over it for you, Shane. Why did I do this? You see, that's why the market's 50-50, because no 2 traders will see the same picture. That is, well, some will, but most won't. It's annoying me. If you look at it, we had from the day chart, a trend resistance coming through here. It's broken through that trend resistance, but I didn't take the trade because, in my opinion, that trade was not there yet because we got this big support level that it broke through previously, but this is a big resistance level. Now, the reason I drew this resistance level in is because it broke through this way. It's gone all the way back up, hit it, come down. It's gone all the way back up, hit it, come down. Gone back up, retested, come down. Come back up, retested. Retested the trend, came down, came up, broke through the trend resistance and gone up. Now it's breaking to the upside. It's broken through and it's broken above this trend, what is now a support was a resistance. What I'm looking at here, this is very much a kind of high-risk 50-50 trade. You could wait a little bit longer and you could say there's another line a little bit higher. But what I'm looking at here is the basis on, it looks like it wants to burst to the upside and go further and break away from what is now support and go moving on up to the upside. I'm quite sure if we draw a Fibonacci on this, we're going to get a different result. I'm pretty sure that if I look at this, it's probably going to be in the golden zone. But the golden zone isn't a situation where it's always going to break to the downside on that. Let's draw one of those in for you, Shane, because I know that's probably what you're looking at. And actually, it's gone through that. It's broken away from that. So even on your system, you'll see it's broken through the golden zone and it's heading up. Normally when it's doing that, it's just got to go through the 71, which I don't draw in, and then it's going to go up to the 100. So all the way. So even on that, it's moving to the upside. So just my justification for the US 500 long. And then also, if you wanted to, you can draw in a couple of other lines. You can draw in a trend along this way. If it breaks through that, then it's going back down. You can draw a trend along this way. There's so many different lines that you can draw in here. But that's just my point of view on that trade. Gold looks like it's ranging. It's creating a, I think in terminology we call it a pennant. The other way around would call it a flag. Now, what happens with these is, for example, if this had gone up and it created a flag along here, it would normally resolve to the upside. But what's happening here is it's come down and created this, which is kind of a pennant, and then there's a good chance it will resolve to the downside based on that range, because it was going down, went into this normally continuation. So it did break this level. Gold, it's ranging, but it's ranging in that level where it sort of come down, gone along, continuation to the downside. That's just what's in my head from what I've seen, you know. Okay. Shane, make most of your money with gold and DAX. That's actually good. I love the DAX, as you know. So the DAX, in all likelihood, if the US 500 is long, the DAX is probably also long. I think let's just have a look. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so you might be struggling to see the S&P 500. The DAX is about to break out to the upside as well. It's also looking like it wants to go up. That's not to say that it can't go short. Just saying it looks pretty decent as well. Gold, I'm looking at short. Probably get back in again if it goes that way. On this one, the other ones I've still got it. And on the Germany, on the DAX, I'd say more long. US 500 long. Brent, I'm staying long. Guys, I'm staying long on Brent. I can't see why I would go short here. I know there's a lot of fundamental news around it. There's no chance anyone's going to buy oil. But I mean, they're changing their mind every day in the politics, and it's actually quite insane. Let's put that back here. It's actually quite insane how people are carrying on. I just put the stop loss way down here. It's way within its levels, and I'm just waiting. Hopefully it'll pick back up again, which it should, which it normally does. So I'm just holding on to Brent, and that'll be good enough for me. Shall we go and have a look at the news, guys? Let's go and see what's happening in the news today. Hopefully my face won't be in the way when I do this, but we'll see what happens. See how we go. There we go. Let's just go and have a look at the news. Always interesting. Get that big gap at the top. Trump poised to soften impact of auto tariffs. So there you go. He's changing his mind again. Here's oil drops as Trump's trade war pummels demand outlook. The trade war is going to affect the oil outlook. You know what affects the oil price is the cartel sitting and discussing what the oil price should be. That's what affects the oil price. Okay, Adidas warns of higher costs. American Airlines. I know Nvidia keeps taking a knock, but Nvidia is still doing okay. If you look at Nvidia, put it up here. Nvidia is still at at 108 bucks. I know it was 130 the other day and it's dropped down, but it's had this massive drop and now it's back up at where it should be. I don't see a too big a problem with that. Yeah. China's going to start shipping. Porsche cuts profit outlook. Okay, that was expected. Stocks climb with earnings, economic data in focus. So keep that in mind, guys. I've called the S&P 500 long, eh? Stocks climb with earnings. So earnings are probably going to be quite reasonable. I don't see a problem with earnings because what's been happening in the politics doesn't really affect the earnings. The earnings are a true factor of how the companies are doing. So companies are still going to do what they were going to do in the first place. So I don't see a big problem with that. And people do look to the future. You know, obviously you want to make a profit in the future. But, and thanks, Sir Lunch. I'd love to trade in the morning with you. Thanks for that. But yeah, I see it as the companies will do what they're going to do. And the earnings reports will be just as they were going to be in the first place. Whether Trump had called tariffs or not, the earnings were still going to be the same. So I can't see a big disaster there. See, Coke's gone down. I own Coke as well. Yeah, but it's long term. Those are my 30-year trades, mate. I don't worry about that. For those of you who want funded trader markets, there is a link in the description if you want a funded account. What's the price now? Gee, these accounts are quite cheap now. Let's just have a look. Oh no, 25K is still $89. Okay. 50K, $149. Not bad. Okay, if you want to get something like that, that's great. Right, let's go back to the charts. Let's go see what's going on. See, this oil jumps as trade war pummels demand outlook. I mean, that trade war is going up and down like a yo-yo. I believe Ukraine's going for a bit of a what do you call it? Ceasefire. So that problem is going to go away for a while. For the time being, it's not to say it'll go away permanently, but for the time being, it's going away. You get a ceasefire there, that's going to be good for the markets. And if Trumpy stops talking about tariffs, that'll be good for markets. If the earnings season is reasonable, that'll be good for markets. So I can see on the markets this US 500 actually moving to the upside and making a recovery just based on the fundamentals alone. Yeah. Okay. Where is Kevin, Wendy, and Sophia? I don't know. Kevin was doing something with his kids last week, and maybe he's losing his steam for trading. I don't know. Wendy comes and goes, and Sophia as well. So hopefully they'll be back soon. You know, one thing you are going to find, Shane, is not everybody stays with the program stays with trading. Trading is a hard game, and it's hard to keep on going and keep your concentration on it, and to do it every day. And most of us that are still here are addicted to it. Like me, I'm addicted to trading, so I get that. But some people aren't. Some people will dump it along the way and say this is not working for me, and move on when they find out how difficult it is. It's a very psychological thing, and if you can't get your psychology around it, it's going to affect you in one way or another. What I do find, though, is those that leave it for a while or drop it for a month or two or a couple of weeks or whatever always end up coming back because it's addictive. It's insanely addictive for whatever reasons, and everybody ends up coming back. But yeah, no, I would love to see Kevin, Wendy, and Sophia back. Love having them on the show. Love having them around. But yeah, I get it. If people want to, take a break and they've got into it today or whatever, or the next day, that sometimes can affect situations. I was actually by the US 500 on my other accounts as well before this thing goes to the moon. Just my luck, I'll miss it, but yeah, I'll get in there later. Right. Ah, there's David. David's back, you see. It's always good. Trading's addictive. We all come back. That's good. It's good that we're here. And so Brent crude oil I'm going to hold on to. I'm not going to dump that. And sometimes bad days change my mood for the whole day. You know what, Sir Lancelot? What I often do is if I have 3 losses in a day, I walk away. Now, yesterday I had 2 losses, and I walked away completely, not interested in another trade whatsoever. And then I'll come back with a fresh mind the next day and have a relook at the whole situation. Because otherwise you start getting knotted up in the losses and trying to get them back. And that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Particularly, you know, that's why a lot of the guys lose on the lower time frames, 1 minute and 5 minutes. You take a loss on a 5 minute or a 1 minute trade, and you spend the whole day trying to get it back, and the hole just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and it just doesn't seem to get better, which is why many years ago I enlisted a policy of, if you lose 3, just walk away. Just walk away, come back tomorrow, try again. Because you're clearly having a bad day, but it's just going to get worse. And the main reason for that is your psychology. It's because you're going to take riskier trades, you're going to make mistakes based on the fact that you took that first loss and you're trying to recover it. You're always trying to recover it. I don't care who anybody is, but if you take a loss, if you make that mistake, and you'll always try and chase that money back. It doesn't matter who you are, or how much it is even. You'll always try and chase that money back. It's who we are. Yeah. If your mind's not right, then don't trade. It's just the only way to do it, because you can tell when your mind's not right. You'll figure it out. When you start getting iffy about things, you'll know it's just not working, and it's time to just walk away and leave it alone. Don't try and force the trade. Just walk away and leave it alone. It's the only way. You know, the more you try and force it, the worse it's going to get. It's like, for example, this yesterday I could have jumped on here, but this, I must say, obviously this account's not my most important account, and the other ones are still in. But I could have jumped on here and said, oh, let's just get back in the trade. I don't bother, walk away. If a trade takes its stop loss as well, I don't get back into the trade immediately. I'll walk away and let it settle. Let me go and think about it. Let me go and consider my options here before doing anything. Really important to do that. Otherwise, you're going to make those mistakes every single time. Gary, hello Rob, back in the live chat. Usually watch your videos next day. Currently Euro, Great British Pound at pivot low. Only take 2 trades a day, 1 in London session, 1 in New York. Yeah, look, Sir Lancelot, you're only trading 2 instruments, so maybe you would only take 2 trades a day, but it's great. It's great. What time frame do you trade on, by the way? And then let's just have a look at the Euro Great British Pound quickly, because Gary just mentioned the Euro Great British Pound. The reason I haven't taken the long on the Great British Pound, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but I most certainly can. And that is, there's a big shoulder here, a giant head, and another shoulder. Now, what usually happens is it'll take that distance and it will project it to the downside over here. And that, if the head and shoulders plays out, tells me that the Euro Great British Pound is coming down to pick up this money down here, 83,400. It's quite far down because there's a big level quite far away down here. So if I draw this level in quickly for you guys, so you can see it, you'll see what I'm talking about. I could make it a lot bigger, but I'm not going to. That level there is a demand of money. Huge amount of money lying there. Maybe you can see it. Now, this has moved up. There's nothing between that and that. Big head and shoulders over there. Big gap down there. That projects down to this level. This is why I haven't gone long on the Euro Great British Pound, because I'm a little concerned that this will break through to the bottom side and fulfill that head and shoulders prediction, so to speak. So do be careful of that on the Euro Great British Pound, which is why I haven't actually taken the trade yet. I saw something similar on gold, which is why I went short on it in the first place. I saw that head and shoulders develop there, which could project down to these levels down at 31.50. There's another area here where there's money lying at the 3200. That's why I had the short on the gold in the first place. We could go back into it, but I'm just gonna live with what we've got here, US 500. Okay, 6 hours, right? Fib chart for Euro Great British Pound. You want a fib chart? Okay. If you want a fib, oh, you guys are not going to see this color. Sorry, I'm just going to change the color. There we go. Yeah, look, the Euro Great British Pound on your fib chart, Shane, is in the golden zone. It's actually perfectly in the golden zone. And if you're not looking for patterns, if you're not seeing the patterns, then this is an amazing long trade. You're looking at it and thinking this is long. But I think what I'll do here for a long trade, and just hear me out, is I'll wait and see if we get a decent green candle heading to the upside with a view to it probably breaking the shoulder and moving up. As it stands at the moment, even though the fib says go long, I'm looking at it and thinking, you know what, this worries me, and this head and shoulders worries me on this particular instrument. So I'd like some more confirmation before I take a trade on this one. I do believe that this one could fall and fall hard. It could fall hard, which wouldn't be good in the slightest. It would be quite tricky. So just keep an eye out for that. There is a lot of iffiness in the market, and it's not a trade that I need right now. So we'll just wait and see. If you get a strong green candle coming out of here, you can go for it. But other than that, watch that head and shoulders. It's there. It's the same as gold. Gold gives you a strong move to the upside, and it breaks that shoulder, then it's going to go back up. But that shoulder is also in line with that. That trend was support, now resistance. It's clearly, if it breaks that shoulder and it's going up. But if it stays below this, it could come down to these levels down here. You've got to keep an eye open for some of the patterns in the market. Flag patterns are very, very good. Flag patterns give you clear indication where something might go. And that's another thing on gold, by the way, quickly, is it was coming down. It's formed this kind of pennant area, and it normally resolves to the downside because it came down ranged and then it might come down again. That kind of plays into, you've got two patterns. You've got the head and shoulders and you've got that pennant. That might be short. You're kind of looking at two patterns there, which are telling you to go the other way. Now, I'm not trying to confuse anyone with patterns now. I'm trying to bring that into trading. I'm just trying to say to you that patterns can give you a good indication in the market what to keep an eye open for. There was one particular fall in the market, it was recently when the S&P started falling. And I was looking at every share in the market. I was looking at all the indexes. I was seeing it everywhere, and I was just seeing head and shoulders patterns everywhere. Just seeing the pattern absolutely everywhere. And I thought, wow, and everyone was just buying, buying, buying. And it turned and it dropped. And it dropped over 20%. And I looked at that and I thought, yeah, it always plays out. It always plays out somewhere down the line. Okay, cool. Check the Discord. I will. I was short originally on Euro, Great British Pound. How's the account at the moment? The account is down because we took 2 big losses yesterday. So we're at 23.5. So we're losing $1,500. We're down. Wow. It was just going back up and now it's back down. But that's okay. We'll fix it one way or the other. You guys must keep this account open. But you know what? 2 of the trades yesterday that took us out was actually my trades, my mistake. So that's okay. At least you guys are not responsible for that. But there has been a couple that you guys have taken that have gone well and gone bad. And, you know, we've had a few losses, a few gains. I'm not sure which ones were yours, Shane. But look at that, 4 losses in a row over there. Oh, that wasn't good. Now, hang on. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 gains. And then yesterday we took those 2 big losses. So that's unfortunate. Gold didn't necessarily have to lose because the gold, it kind of trailed it down and I didn't realize we had a trailing on it because that was set at 250 and the Aussie dollar, US dollar as well. But it's okay. You know, we win some, we lose some. Hopefully the US 500 does well and then the account does well. We've got to keep this account going, guys. Otherwise, I've got to get another one for us. Which is insane. If we can keep this going at least for the whole year, it will be cool, you know? Yeah, the losers, yeah. Yeah, you can't win them all, you know? And, yeah, sure. It's a bit of a pity, but it has been a tough year. So I can't blame myself or anyone else for, you know, what's been going on between us. We all choose the trades together most of the time. And I've chosen 1 or 2 by myself for you guys. And some of them worked and some of them didn't work. But, you know, we have to take the trades. Otherwise, we're wasting our time. And like I said, there's been a lot of like really big traders out there that have just sat on their hands and said, I'm not trading. You know, they're staying out of the markets completely and not doing anything. We could trade on the 5-minute charts and then we could, you know, make or lose some money quickly. But that's not what we're here to do. We're here to keep you in the game and we're here to figure out the trading. And yeah. The system works on all the time frames though. It's not a problem. It's just, can you imagine us all losing it on 5-minute charts again, getting back into that? We're trying to learn how to trade on, or you guys are trying to learn how to trade on the 4-hour charts and not the 5-minute charts. Are you seeing a triple bottom on gold? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, you are. You are seeing that bottom. Interestingly enough, David, is to keep an eye on this one factor, and that is your triple bottom is here, but it's also at the bottom of a head and shoulders. So that triple bottom, if it doesn't hold, is going to be quite disastrous. So it's very difficult to play a long trade off that, or even I would play a short trade off it quite easily if it breaks through it wow, you know, that's a biggie. Triple bottom is there, but it's at the bottom of a head and shoulders, so it leaves you in quite a precarious sort of position, quite a tricky sort of position. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. So have you guys got any trades that you want to take today? By the way, while we're here, we've got the two trades in. We've got the Brent crude oil, which is not doing so well. We've got the US 500, which is waiting for the American markets to open and scare the hell out of us. Gary, we always use stop loss. Always. We never dollar cost average. Dollar cost averaging is the worst thing you can do. It will knock you. The whole strategy is based on stop loss and business plan. This is just a high probability trade. The system that you see in front of you is like any other system in the market. They're all the same. They all work. All it does is give you that confident feeling that you're taking a trade that's going in your favor. But in effect, the market's a 50-50, so you have to have a stop loss. Doesn't matter whether you're trading 5 minutes, an hour, 4 hours, day, week. Doesn't matter. You've got to, except in investing. Investing, you don't need a stop loss. Investing, you just need a mental idea that if the company's going bad, get out and move the money into something else. But in general, that's the one area where you don't stop loss. But in trading, you must have a strategy of stop loss, and you keep your stop loss the same on every trade so that your losses are always the same. And then you just try and make more on your profits at the end of the day so that you can make a profit, because you will, in all likelihood, no matter what your system, in all likelihood, you're going to lose more times than you win, unless you're scalping. When you're scalping, you'll have a win rate, and you'll win more times than you lose. Only trouble is you'll win small amounts and lose big amounts, which puts you in a loss. So scalping doesn't work over time. Over time, it always catches you out. Over time, there's always that one big trade that knocks you for a 6. It just does. Effectively, if you're in 5-minute, 1-minute trading, something like that, and you're scalping and you win a couple, and then one trade starts to take you down, you'll keep trying to get that money back, and it'll just keep you taking you down further and further and further and further. Ooh, it seems to be getting dark here. Big storm coming over in Cape Town. Ha ha ha! We needed to put a fire out on our mountain. The mountain was on fire this last couple of days. It happens once in a while. I'm thinking short on Brent and US 500. Shane, you always go the opposite to me, don't you? I'm long on Brent on US 500. But don't worry, Shane always goes the other way. Yeah, totally. Yeah, look, there's nothing wrong with that. I tell you what, you take the shorts, and I'll stay with the longs, and we'll see what happens. Like, goodness me. The US 500, while it looks like it's stalling, it's earnings season. And earnings season, nothing's going to change because of what tariffs were done or said, or what was said in politics or whatever. So the earnings are still going to be the earnings no matter what. And if it's a good earnings season, the US 500 is going to go up. Brent crude oil, although they say the politics are causing it, there's no room for anyone to buy oil, blah, blah, blah. Oil is at a very low price. And the oil price is generally determined by the cartels that sit together, and all they do is they stop selling barrels, and then the price comes back. So both of these trades for me, it's a bit of a punt on a long. They both look like they want to break up, and they probably will. Absolutely, David. I did say this is a 50-50 game, and this is why it's a 50-50 game. Shane and I talking about two opposing trades is the exact reason I always tell you guys it's a 50-50 game. It's because you're not trading against lines, you're not trading against candles, you're not trading against algorithms or anything on your computer screen. All that is a high probability trade, makes you feel comfortable when you trade. But what you're actually trading is with human beings. And human beings have different points of view, they have different emotions, they have different ideas about things. And it's the old adage of if you are right, then by definition I must be wrong. And that is how it is in the world. It just is what it is. You're dealing with human beings, and the sooner you understand that in the markets, the sooner the bigger picture will come to you, and the sooner you'll understand why you need to run these markets with a stop loss and a business plan, and why you need to work out how you can make a profit. It's not about lines. It's not about drawings. It's not about things breaking through walls. What you're looking for in the market effectively always is you're looking for liquidity. So wherever you go in the market, you're looking for these liquidity areas. Areas where you know that when the price gets there, there's a whole bunch of money lying there that other people have put there. So it's other traders that are saying, I'm going to sell there. Other traders that are saying, I'm going to buy there. And all you're doing is jumping on and riding with them. Not always going to work. That's why it's a 50-50 game. And you're not always going to agree which way the market's going to go. Thus, we have a market. Imagine if everybody went the same way. Imagine if the market was run by robots, as people think they are. There's so many people out there that think the market's an algorithm that's run by robots. Imagine that. So the robots take all the trades. And only the robots are trading against each other. There's no human beings, just the robots are trading each other. Now, wouldn't you think that if robots or computers were trading against each other, they would in all likelihood all be correct? None of them would be wrong because they're in the same computer program choosing the same trades. Where do you think that will bring the market out at the end of the day? There's only one way it can go, and that is to zero. It can only end on a zero because everyone's right. The whole point of a market is that someone has to be wrong for someone to be right. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I really do. I hope that makes sense somewhere down the line. But yes, like I say, by definition, if you're right, then I must be wrong. Or if I'm right, then you must be wrong. That's how the markets work. And that's how money is made in the markets. Besides shares, for example, if you invest in shares, this is a completely different ballgame again. When you're investing in shares, then you're investing in someone who's growing a company. So you're investing in that company, you're investing in that board of directors, and you're trusting in them to grow that company to a bigger size, making your money worth more. Then your money will not only grow with the company, it'll also grow with inflation, and not to mention you'll get dividends, payouts, and sort of income from that investment, that company. So that's the point of owning companies. Companies will grow in size, and you're trusting in the directors that are running those companies to grow those companies over time for you. You're not trading it. Trading is a different ballgame. You're trading against other human beings or with other human beings, putting money in the market, taking money out in the market. And that's kind of where that goes. That's a different thing altogether. You know, we get confused between investing and trading. Investing, when you're investing in something, you've got a means to an end. You're looking for that company to grow. It's like a friend coming to you and saying, I want to start this business and I want to make statues and I want to sell them to countries around the world. And then you say to him, okay, how are you going to do this and how are you going to go about it, where you're going to have them made, all the rest of it. All right, I'll invest in your company. You invest in his company with a view to him being successful, and you're going to get a profit out of that at the end of the day. That's investing. It's different. Are we long on the DAX? No, not yet. We're not long on the DAX. Keep in mind that if we do go long on the DAX, that we're going to be long on the DAX and the US 500, which is pretty much going to go the same way. Okay, you're pretty much playing a trade against each other. But I love the DAX. I do think the DAX would, in all likelihood, go long, but it's a bit early to take the trade. Maybe on your system it might not be early. Let me have a look quickly, because I know you like the fib. So Shane, I'm just going to check on the fib what you think. What did I just do? Of course, it was difficult to grab these things. I don't even know where that was now. But anyway, it doesn't matter. No chance of getting this to work, is there? I'll tell you what. Look. No, DAX is heading on up. So DAX is heading on up. Looks like it's heading on up to the... See, now I've moved this level, so I need to check what that level is. So let's just go and have a look at what that level was or is. I can see it was just there's a bit of a double top there. There's a bit of a supply. Okay, that level can stay there. Perfectly okay. No problem. I don't even have to take it to a line chart. Perfectly okay. That level can stay there. Yeah, if you want to go long on the DAX, you can. As I can see, it doesn't look too bad. Looks okay. It looks like it wants to go back into this range. And that range was 225 to 235. So, yeah, looks like it wants to go back into that range for anybody who wants to get in there. I'm going to stay with this US 500 trade. And I'm going to keep an eye on this gold for another short. We can just have a look at that. Boom, 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 boom. So, Lunchalot, I thought you had the best name on the group. But look at the next message. The Immortal Trader. I love your name. That is insane. What a lovely name. I'm good. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Good to hear from you. The Immortal Trader. I love seeing you guys' titles of your channels. It's fantastic. I like that. I do like that. It's great. I mean, mine is so boring. Rob's Logical Trading. Yeah, you guys are great. I like that. Shane, the DAX has made me so much money in the past. It's insane. I love the DAX. The DAX is a goodie. The DAX has always been good to us. So yeah, if you want to go for it, go for it. Take it on. US 500, I'm just going to hold on to that for now. But the US 500 does well too. Eh? It's a goodie. Francois, thanks for that. Yeah, yeah, I'm playing around with those AI images just for fun. Makes the thumbnails more interesting, don't you think? According to AI, I'm a big fat guy, but okay. Yeah, that's insane. Kevin, you're back. How's it going, dude? Shane was asking after you a bit earlier. Yeah, well, you know, Kevin, most people's are just their name, like Francois, Kevin, Shane, and David, and what. But there's a couple of you guys here with insane names, I must say. The Immortal Trader, that is brilliant. I love it. Absolutely love it. I think it's insane. That's great. No. So the Immortal Trader asks, what platform are you using? Okay, the platform that we've got in front of us here is CTrader, which is from the funded account that we use for the group here on the live show. We trade together, we take trades together, and you guys learn with us together as a group, and you come back and you have a bit of fun with us. My main platform that I use for my cash account is MetaTrader 5. And another funded account that I'm playing around with is, I'm doing some research and whatnot, is DXTrade. But I find that CTrader is absolutely fantastic. It's an amazing platform, really good. And then, of course, we've got TradingView as well. Not to promote names, but I mean, there's so many different trading platforms. But 9 times out of 10, the thing with trading platforms is whichever broker you take on, or for whatever reasons, whether it be for a cash account or a funded account or whatever it might be, you kind of take on what they offer or what they've got, because you don't pay for platforms. That's insane. And yeah, over the years, I've been stuck with MetaTrader 5 for such a long time, because it was supposed to be the state-of-the-art thing way back, but I got to say, it's kind of fallen behind a bit, hasn't it? I don't know what you guys think. You see, is there keeping his ear on the stream? So, we've been talking about you the whole time, Kevin, so, I hope you heard. CTrade is free, Francois, if you get it with, but generally it's normally funded accounts that offer it, okay? But it's totally free. With the account, with this account, it came free anyway, so I don't know if you go and you have a cash account, like for example, my cash account doesn't offer me CTrader. It offers me MetaTrader 5. So I take MetaTrader 5. I don't care. I don't need all the rubbish that goes behind it and whatnot. I learn how to trade with it and I use it. My other funded account offers me DX trading, so I use it. That's great. It's fun. But then IG offers you a bunch of options as well. I can't even remember the names of the one I'm using there, but that is great as well, and I use that. So there's a couple of accounts that I've got with different trading platforms, and they're all basically the same. I'm very, very impressed with CTrader though. Very impressed. I thought it would be a lot of old rubbish, but it's not. It's fantastic. It's actually really good, to be honest. But I wouldn't pay for a trading platform. I have never paid for a trading platform in my life, ever. Why would I? Every broker I've ever traded with has given me the trading platform, so why would I pay for it? Kevin, your name's exciting. You don't need to change it. Francois, and just stay with TradingView. TradingView is fine. If you want me to trade on TradingView here, I can do that as well. If it's easier for you guys, I don't mind. I do have TradingView, so it's okay. Just use TradingView. If you like, I'll show you a few TradingView things. It's the same though, basically the same. But yeah, like Sir Lancelot says, I love this program. I think it's great. And like Shane says, check with Oanda, see if they offer it. Shane has a cash account, offers CTrader. I use only my own money and not funded. I use Oanda. Oanda normally I see it's TradingView, but just ask them. Maybe they give you CTrader as well. And David agrees on the MT5. It's falling behind a bit, eh? It really has. Yeah. I live in Africa, so I just deal with what I got. I missed the start. Hope you were talking good of me. Yeah. But crypto, yes, please use TV. Okay. But crypto, I'm a bit confused by your comment there. Yes, please use TV. Oh, TradingView. Sorry. Okay. TV is television in my books, but TradingView. Got it. Okay. Like I said earlier, I'm a bit slow on abbreviations. It drives me insane. Okay. TradingView and MT4 and there you go. So MT4 is the same as trading MT5. MT4's just got a few different colors and functions on it, but it's exactly the same. But the thing with MT4 and MT5, it's always been very, very complicated. You got to take some time to get used to it. And then once you get used to it, it's all fine. And there's a few things that are just lacking on it that you would think they would have improved by now, particularly with programs like the C Trader and TradingView and that being out there. You'd have thought it would have improved a little bit by now, but they are lacking a little bit, I have to say. They could do a little bit better. Yes. You see, Francois, if you look at, like you said, I always use support and resistance too. I look at previous highs and previous lows. Of course. What I try not to do, Francois, is confuse you guys. Okay. But if you want to get a little bit more technical, previous highs and previous lows work into support and resistance, right? So if you look at a previous high and a previous low, that's clearly where you want to put stop losses, where you want to look at where price is going, where you want to take trades. Where do I want to see that? For example, gold's a good example of that. You're going to look at, previous highs, the high of that shoulder, for example. Obviously, you're going to look in those areas. It also plays into supply and demand. There's a supply of money up there. There's a demand of money down there. But I don't want to confuse the issue too much. I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it as simple as possible. And if something breaks above the last high, you're going to want to go long. And what I'll do sometimes, because it plays into support and resistance, keep this in mind, is I'll look at, for example, if it breaks above that high, it's in all likelihood going long, because that's the last high. If it breaks below that low of that candle, it's in all likelihood going low. And if it breaks below the main lows, it's really going short. So you can use that to your advantage, but don't confuse yourself with it. And don't play into it as a 100% trading plan. What I normally do with situations like that is I use it as confluence. If I see it's done that, and I see it's playing into my plan, then it works fine. It's the same as trading patterns. Here's a head and shoulders, and it's putting me off going long. It's rather trained my brain into look for the short. So I've looked for the short, and it's not saying I must go short. What it's saying to me is maybe you should just plan to go short. Maybe you should look at your trading pattern and see if that plays into it, sort of thing. So that's what I do with highs and lows as well. I just sort of look at it and say, yeah, if it goes beyond that and that sort of thing. I don't use it as a trading plan. I use it as a trading confluence, because these systems, like I always say, are only high probability, and they're only there to give you the high probability trade. And then also what you have to be very careful of when you're looking at the high probability trade is understanding that doesn't mean that it's always going to work. Okay. That was also the reason for being stopped out with Aussie dollar, US dollar. Aussie, it's clear, thanks. Pending order for DAX has been triggered, and I'm now going long. Go for it, man. Go for it. There you go. Trains long on the DAX. That's fantastic. Pretty good news there. Yeah, the Aussie dollar, US dollar, pretty much. You see what happens with the Aussie dollar, US dollar to me is I put the stop loss above the highs. And what actually happened was it was on with a trailing stop. And I've left that setting on this particular charting program for whatever reason. And when I wasn't looking, it stopped me out on the trailing stop. So my initial stop loss would have been 250 odd, and it stopped me out at around 200 or 199 or something, because it trailed down and it came into that level and I wasn't watching with it going back, because it shot back up while I was asleep or whatever the case, because it's an Aussie dollar. It's in a different time zone to me. I didn't look at it before I went to bed, and that's my mistake. But I will normally keep my stop losses away from those highs on a short, or away from those lows on a on a long, because we know that if it breaks above there, it could actually go long as well. But yeah, that's your last high. Now it's coming down. It's kind of sitting there. There isn't any. There was maybe a double or triple top here. That's gone. It's broken that. So it's tricky because what this is doing at the moment, and be aware of this, okay? I'm going to make this bigger. Be very aware of this. This is a resistance level. It broke through here previously, retested and failed, came through, broke back in, came down, broke back in, came down. So it's been ranging, sitting here. This normally resolves to the upside, but my mistake, because this was a red candle, and I took the trade thinking it's going down because it's in the resistance, but it's a flag, and it's been sitting, and it normally resolves to the upside because it's been going up along, and it probably carry on going up. Now, what we've got is it's broken through again with these three strong candles. There is here a demand level below those three candles, so this could come back, take that money, bounce, and go. This is coming back to take some more money, to retest. It's almost like the spring effect. If you've ever read Wyckoff, that's what our system is based on. It's a spring effect. It's going to spring to the upside. So the Australian dollar, US dollar, we mistakenly took short yesterday. And when I say we, me, okay? And looking at it thinking, it's probably going to come out the resistance and go, because keeping it simple. But you didn't see the whole picture where this is starting to create the spring. And effectively what it's done now, it's broken out. It's coming back to retest. And it could come deep into this level here, sort of around here, which it has been doing. And then there's a spring here, and it's probably going to spring up and go. Got to keep your eye open for that. So, and it's made a high. It's made a new high. So, well, keep that in mind as well. There are a lot of things to keep in mind that I would have missed at this point. At this point, it still looked like, it's going back, retesting and going down. But no, it went up, it went into this, and now it's created this whole spring effect here, which looks like it's going to spring up. So Aussie dollar, US dollar is in all likelihood going to be a long trade. Worst case scenario, it breaks the other way, but it looks like it wants to go long. At the moment, it's a red candle, we wait. I hope you guys picked up on that or know what I'm talking about there. Important to understand that. Okay. There's a lot of things to watch out for in trading when it comes to the probabilities, not just the psychology. Sometimes you've got to watch out for things like that as well. You've got to see that in the patterns, but unfortunately, that comes with experience, with seeing it over years, and even I miss it sometimes. So, you're not always going to see that. Yes, the liquidity grab. So you're seeing the liquidity grab. So there's a lot going on there. But if you know, go and have a read up on Wyckoff and see what they say. It's quite complicated, but you'll see that the spring effect is developing there. Yeah, David, getting the wrong side of the 50-50 is frustrating, but you're not the only one. Some of the biggest traders around have been getting the wrong side of the 50-50. Some of the biggest traders around have not been trading. A lot of the traders are only showing you the wins, not the losses. And I've spoken to a few of the bigger traders, and a lot of them are just staying out in the market. So, yeah, keep that in mind. It's not just you. And I always tell you guys, once you understand that you might lose more trades than you win, then you understand what you're trying to target and what you're looking for. It's not a question of, I'm in a loss, I'm losing. You got to look at it as, I'm going to get that big trade, and that will come back and it'll all be fine. My top 10, Francois, changes on a regular basis, and that's one of the big problems for most people is they'll ask me, what's your top 10? And unfortunately, it changes on a regular basis. Like you see here, I've got this watch list in front of us here. This is so that we can trade together, and it's easier for me to find them. That's all. But these are 6 of the trades that I'll be looking at today, but tomorrow you'll see this has changed. So for me, no, there isn't really so much a top 10 as there are those that always come back to me. There are those that always end up at my doorstep. And I don't know, you can try and come back to this, but for example, my number one is always the US 500. The US 500 is always my number one. That's my main go-to, come back to. Okay, like the US 500 on the indexes. And then second to that on the indexes, DAX. Okay, the DAX. So I love the DAX. DAX always comes back to me. Then there's Brent crude oil. Always Brent, not WTI, Brent. And then there's gold on the commodities. So you've got, that's four. So you've got US 500, DAX, Brent, gold. Those are four of my favorites. And then the Forex kind of draws me into Euro US dollar, Euro Great British Pound, US dollar Canadian dollar. Those tend to always come back to me. Those tend to land up on my doorstep quite a lot. And then the others kind of revolve around that. It comes and goes. So crypto is not my thing. I'm not a firm believer in crypto. I don't believe in crypto. I believe that crypto is based on fresh air, and I don't like trading it. There's no asset value. It's not tied to any country. It's not tied to anything in particular, and you will never convince me otherwise. I believe crypto is probably one of the biggest Ponzi schemes ever invented, and it's too big to fail. If it fails, the world's in trouble. So crypto is not my thing. I will trade it though, because I will trade the orange peel skin if you give it to me to trade. So I'll trade crypto, but it would be at the bottom of my list. Not my favorite thing to trade at all. Yeah, I've often traded the FTSE as well. The FTSE is a biggie. You know, it trades in a range. If get it stuck in that range, you can make a lot of money out of that. The FTSE is a great one to trade in as well. But yeah, what I will say, find something that's comfortable with you, but do yourself a favor. Don't limit yourself and try and trade everything. But you'll find what you're comfortable with, and then you can put that watch list together and keep an eye on it. That's your best. Francois, DAX 40, DAX 40 or 30 doesn't matter. Same thing. It'll. You know, the thing that you got to understand with indexes is while there might be 40 shares in the index or 30 shares in the index or 500 shares in the index or 100 shares in the index, you know what? It's normally the top 10 that will move it. I know the NASDAQ, for example, they got the Fantastic 7 or whatever. It's like the top 7 that move it around. So there's always like a top group, like South Africa's got a top 40, and there's like only a few shares that literally move the whole market. You don't have to worry whether it's the 30 or the 40, but if you have got the 40, trade the 40. I know on my cash account I use the 40 because there's 40 shares. It's better, you know. Okay. Ruben, sorry, can you explain indices like Boom Crash 375? I'm not sure your question there, Dennis. Not sure of your question, what you want me to explain on the indexes there. Not with it. Not with it there. Boom Crash. Nope, not on it. Probably something I'm not affiliated with. Okay, so Brent crude oil is still weak, and the US 500 doesn't want to go in our favor yet. And how's your DAX doing, Shane? Is it going up? Probably will. DAX is a nice trade. I like the DAX. I think it's going to go seriously well. I think all of them will at the end of the day. I'll tell you what, if the US 500 and Brent go against me today, then yeah, Perhaps you should go long on them, Shane. I mean, short. A lot of Forex from derived of any of those things. It's shorting at the moment. Yeah, like everything again. Yeah, the oil's going down, S&P 500 is going down, DAX is going down. They're all going down, aren't they? But okay, ain't that just how it goes, eh? What's the time? Oh yeah, okay. Probably that time of the day. Not a problem, not a problem. We'll see what happens. See how we go. How many trades have we got open on this guy? Ah, come on, man. I don't always click that stupid thing. Okay. Let's just see what we've got here. I want to see how many trades we've got open today. Okay, so we've got 2 trades open on this account. US 500 and Brent. Okay, so we could open another trade and not lose the whole account. Right, great. But I wouldn't go short in the Aussie dollar, US dollar at the moment because that looks like it wants to wick off, wants to jump. Okay, Shane, you can short Brent. I'm long Brent. You probably wouldn't do badly because they have said that Brent's got nowhere to go. So the emotions are probably going to be to the short side. I'm going to hold the long on it and see how it goes. But let's just see here. There is, of course, a level here and a level here. I think it'll hold. Most likely. Probably hold. Worst case scenario, it could drop a few points, but it'll probably hold. Looks okay. And if the US 500 goes up, Brent's probably going to go with it. And if DAX goes up, Brent's probably going to go too. I don't think it's going to keep on falling. Could though. Could. It is a bit of a nasty one. Let's see. They say there's no outlook for oil because of Trump's tariffs, and that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But if there's emotions surrounding it, then there's always that possibility, eh? There's always the possibility that they're gonna go with that. And that's gonna cause us a bit of a headache, man. Bit of a headache. Let's see what it does today, and then we'll take it from there. See how she holds on. Got to keep a hold of the trades, because if you just bounce in and out of the trades, that doesn't help you either, does it? You know, you're in and out, in and out, in and out. You never really know where you're getting, and you never really know where you're going, and so on and so on and so on. So it's actually better just to keep a hold of the trades and not to dump them. I would like to go long on the Germany 30 as well, but then I'm sitting with 2 trades, man. I'm sitting with the US 500 and the Germany, and they're both going to go the same way. They're gonna filter the same way. There's really no point in it. The other thing that I am seeing, and I've already got the US 500 trade, but you know, I'm seeing that gap that's on the US 500 as well. That gap down there that it might come back to fetch, and also it has kind of gone into this level, and it hasn't broken out on the DAX. So a little bit concerned about that. But we'll just wait for that, and then I am sitting on the US 500. So let's just see. You know, I've given a really wide berth on the stop loss. I don't know if you want to do that though, Shane, but I've given a really wide berth on the stop loss on the S&P 500. You could do that on the DAX as well. Give yourself some space. You know, if it moves down, you know, so be it, and then it might just turn and go up again, because it is in a kind of a bullish phase at the moment. If you look at this trend, it is in a kind of a bullish phase at the moment. And if it stays in that bullish phase, that'll be great. It might just keep on going up. Obviously, then you've got, I mean, if you're doing the fib, where are you on the fib? Remember I said it broken through the golden zone, so it's actually going up. That was fine. And then should we go short on the gold again? We were short on the gold. I'm actually quite convinced on the gold short. Really, I am. I'm actually thinking I should go short on the gold again, but this bottom level here is putting me off. This bit here kind of putting me off at the moment. But yeah, I'm kind of liking the short on the gold, to be honest with you. You guys tell me it's your trading game. Gold hold. Okay. Shane's holding on the gold. We're not going short. But I'm wondering, what are you thinking? What are you guys thinking? Should we go short until it breaks the range? Yeah, we could wait, Shane. You're probably right. We probably should wait until it gives us a better indication. Hold it till it breaks down. If it breaks down, then it's a deal. You know when it's going to do that, though? It's going to do that when I'm sleeping. It's going to do that late tonight on my side. You might be awake, but I'll probably be napping, and then it's going to break that level then, which it always does. Yeah, that's the problem. But yeah, you got to, there's no FOMO in this. This is just me thinking that looks good. But yeah, always remember, don't do the FOMO thing. No fear of missing out. Don't worry about it. If you miss out, you miss out. I've missed out on the gold trade so many times. You wake up and it's moved. Okay, so Kevin says wait on gold. That's fine. All right, let me set an alert. Yeah, I actually forgot. Thanks, Shane. Let me set an alert on the gold. We'll put it on this platform. So, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, if it gets here, that's the alert. Okay, right. But then it really doesn't have far to go, does it? Goes through that. It's going to get down to here. Let's just push it. Let's push it up a bit. Let's put it there so I can catch it. That's fine. Give it a bit of space so that I can get here and catch it. Because otherwise, when I look, it'll be gone. But even if if I'm sleeping, I'm not going to hear the alert. You know that, eh? But yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. If it goes through there, we're going short. And then on the long side, actually, we should have an alert on the long side as well. Because if this thing goes long, it's also something. So let's put another alert in on the long side. Let's put an alert on the long side as well. Because that let's just see what we got. Barring putting an order in, that's about it. We could put an order in as well. Because, I mean, if it goes below that's done. Okay. And then the S&P is worrying me now because it's starting to go the other way. But it's fine. We'll leave it. That's why I put a wide stop loss on it in the first place. So Lunchalot says, use Shane as your indicator. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Turn up the volume. Yeah. No, totally. Yeah. Indicators. And there's another one that I actually should put. Let's just watch this level here. But it's okay. The stop loss is in there. If it goes, it goes. Let's see what happens. It's a pity, though, because, Brent was actually doing quite well. It's a real pity. I don't know if the pain of being wrong will ever make you a great trader. It might make you a mad trader. I don't know. But if you keep getting it wrong, it becomes quite insane. You don't want to keep getting it wrong, that's for sure. Yeah, somewhere down the line you want to start getting it right. But yeah, there's that trade that comes along that just does so well that it makes your day, your week, your year. There's always that one trade, there's nothing more exciting than taking the big win. That's great. Doesn't matter where you're trading at. If you get a big win, it's really great. It's nice to have. All those little losses that you've been taking, and they've been so painful. They've been like whacking you. Loss here, loss there, a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, and you're starting to go insane. And then you get that big one that goes and it runs and it makes you so much and cleans up. That makes your whole year, just changes everything. And then you realize the perspective of trading. Because people look at traders for their win rates. How often do you win? It's not important. It's how much do you win. That's what's important at the end, in all fairness. So, I see a lot of traders out there win, and showing you small wins, and that's meaningless. It's easy to do that. I can also take the mobile phone and make $2, $2, $2, $2, $2, $2, $2, $2. It's insane. Get all these like $2 profits. And come on, man. Keep it real. Keep it real. Handling losing trades does help. And I got to tell you that, like I always say, the surprise for many is that you're going to lose more trades than you win if you're trading properly. If you're scalping, then that's different. That's you're playing for a win rate. But if you're trading properly and you're trading with position, you'll lose more trades than you win. It's always the case, even though it's a 50-50. Just is like that. But I've always been fortunate enough to run on a 50-50. There's some guys out there running on a 80-20, which is 80% loss, 20% win, and still making a profit. Sitting here looking at the Brent trade going down the toilet is just so sad. Don't you think? It's just so sad. Hopefully it'll turn around. Yeah. Turtle trades were the most successful, but had the highest loss rate. Turtle trades is the one that I like to talk about. Turtle traders. Oh, those guys. 20% win rate. That's where I got it from. 20% win rate. Can you imagine trading with a 20% win rate? Now, I always say a win rate is meaningless. That's why I always say win rate is meaningless, because I know about the turtle traders. A win rate means nothing. Those guys won 2 trades out of 10. 2. Yet they were the most profitable traders known to mankind. No one in the street could beat them. Crazy, eh? Absolutely crazy. I think those were the guys that also weren't allowed to sell their trade once they took it. So, for example, if I took this Brent trade and I was like, okay, I'm going to get rid of this now because it's losing, you weren't allowed to do that if you were with turtle traders. You had to play the trade out. That was it. That's crazy if you think about it. The boss wouldn't allow them to sell the trade. You had to let the trade play out the way it's supposed to. Losers, so be it, And that's how they operated, and they were so profitable at the end of the day. And if you sit and look at your situation and you lose 8 trades, you're looking at it and thinking, this is hectic. But when you win the 2 big ones, when you win the big ones, it's actually quite cool. It's actually really cool. Okay, so the S&P is going against us. That's just great. And Brent's going against us, which is even better. So it's going to be a tough day again. Yeah, the boss was strict. Yeah, you're quite right. The boss was very, very strict on that. Yep, trend traders. Trend traders, which is what, effectively we trade 3 ways. We trade with a trend, we counter trade the trend, and we trade in a range. So effectively you could call us trend traders as well, even though we're price action traders. We're trading in trends. And that's what we're doing. at the end of the day, you're looking for liquidity, you're looking for trends, and that's what you're trading with. And the big thing is not to get all tied up in the nitty-gritties of the daily trading. Just let it go, and hopefully it plays out in the favor. So I do believe that it is time for me to start heading on, and I think this has been a really cool session. It's good that Kevin was back as well. Shane's always here. Good to see David as well. Nice to have you on board again. Sir Lunchalot, love your name. I think it's insane. And the Immortal Trader. Wow, that sounds like a movie. Great stuff, guys. And of course, Ruben, good to have you on board as well. Francois, lovely to see you today as well. If I haven't mentioned you, I'm glad you're here. It's been lovely. I'm going to head on my way now. Going to go and do a few private things that I love to do as well. That's why I trade, at the end of the day, so that I have lots of time to myself as well, not just sit here trading, looking at charts all day. Guys, thanks for being here. Don't forget, keep your feet on the ground and reach for the sky. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you on Thursday at 2 o'clock GMT +2. Remember, Thursday is 2 o'clock GMT +2. It's a couple of hours later, and I'll see you there. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Ciao.